Hey guys, I know I wasn't going to do any sort of further updates until my monthly update itself and cut back on the videos, but I've got time on my hands this afternoon, so I thought I'd give you a quick heads up on my Tiger project. So technically speaking, this is update 7 of my Thomas Amselgrubber Tiger 1 build. Now originally I had intended to do a vignette of the actual Tiger, depicting this very scene in this very photograph, but I've had a change of thought and basically thought of an idea for a vignette which has come up inside my head this very afternoon. And it was as I was actually going to do some more work on the actual vehicle itself, this idea popped into my head. And as you can see here on the original picture, up the very top there is, if I can get it blown up a bit, you can just about make out Thomas directing fire on targets in the area. And as you can see with this version, which was the mid version of the Tiger one, unlike the early, it didn't have a flat lid, it had one that actually sort of slided across, as you can see here, and also had a machine gun cradle. And unlike the early version, you can see here the back is completely flush, and you've got the cradle here for the actual gun on the turret itself, or cradle lock as they call it. So there you go. And there's no sort of outside filter systems. I think it was all internally built. So there you go. And that's the state of play at the moment. So the idea I came across with, which popped into my head, was this, and I've done a rough layout of how the actual vignette is going to look. So there you go. Quite simple, and as you noticed on the bottom here, I'll move the light around or back a little bit. The actual surface is of a cobbled street. I don't know if you can make it out in the camera, but I can from here. In fact, if I move it around very delicately, you might just be able to make out the scene, which is typical of a modern sort of street in Normandy, in one of the villages there. And I've basically put a figure of Thomas sitting on the top of the turret here, and then one of his crewmen just relaxing on the side of the tank as though they've just come back from a sortie. The rest of the crew have gone to get some food or wine or pop into a local French restaurant, and the guys are just waiting there for them before moving on. Yeah, I thought it'd be a good idea, basically. And not only that, I mean, it gives the actual vehicle a true sense of scale rather than just sitting there on its own, and adds a little bit more interest. Now, the actual crew figure I used was this, which is Tamiya's 135th German tank crew at rest set. And I've actually used this figure here and this figure here, basically for the scene. And if anybody wants to know the kit numbers, you can see on the top here, it's kit number 201. That's kit number 201. You can source these off of eBay or any modelling shops or modelling sites. Alright, now that's just got back into shot again, which is good. So all I've got to do on this is basically stylize the figures and the base, and then basically paint them up. I might well use AK's flesh set just to give a little bit of tone. I'm going to experiment with those and try and see if I can do a bit of job with my figures. Had a little bit of a setback when I was decaling this, whereas one of the Balkan crews has fallen off, which is unusual for Dragon because their decals are normally pretty good, but I've got spares so I can use one of them. That's not a problem. And unfortunately I knocked the radar aerial, as you can see here, so I've managed to put a replacement on it, and I will be painting that up shortly. The tracks, well, I've weathered them up a little bit more, just on the edge here with the cleats. Just basically weathered them up with a pencil, as it were, which is a tip I learned off of one of Mike's videos about a year or so ago. So thanks, buddy. That's really handy and looks far more effective, and it'll look even better once they're on the vehicle. So that's the state of play at the moment as regards my Tiger 1 at Thomas Amselgrubber build. But unfortunately I've got a sad announcement to make. I've had a few personal issues. Had a slight misunderstanding with a friend of mine, and hopefully that will resolve itself in time. So that's taken me away from the workbench a little bit, and what with the hot weather as well, it's just sapped my energy. And to be honest with you, the other day it was 35 degrees, which is the highest temperature that's been recorded in this country so far. What with the humidity, it's just too much. You get home, you're just exhausted. So in my contribution towards ISM's Tiger 1 buddy build, I'm afraid I haven't got started on it, guys. I'm sorry, Paul and Les, I really apologise, but unfortunately life's got in the way again. What I'm trying to do is get this project finished before proceeding with any of the others. And of course I've got the First World War group build project on as well at the moment. I want to get that done, hopefully in the next few weeks, and hopefully get this one finished in the next few weeks, provided life doesn't get in the way again. So there you go. So unfortunately, guys, my contribution is going to have to be withdrawn. There's just no physical way I'm going to get the time or the inclination to get this Tiger finished in a week, if I've not even started it. So I apologise, but there you go. But however, I will do the build at some time in the near future. It's just that I've got other projects lined up as well, and I just thought I could sneak this one in, but unfortunately sod's law has prevailed again. So my humblest apologies, but I have to say all the builds I've seen so far on the buddy build, Tiger 1 buddy build, look fantastic. They really do. Anyway, I'm not going to waffle on anymore. I'll give you more of an update on the builds in the monthly update, which will be coming up in the next week or so. So until then, get kit crazy, happy modelling, and I'll speak to you soon.